Hi, I'm Al Hassan Oaf.
I'm Kara Mangus.
And I'm Ella Donahue.
And tonight, on 15 Minutes, we explore the evolution of women in the workplace. Historically, women have been underrepresented in positions of power. That being said, organizations have been able to see the benefits of increased gender diversity over time. Here's a look at what this evolution looks like.
Because of these benefits, we see organizations using different strategies to attract females to these positions. These strategies include marketing through various channels, such as their website or community events, and offering more competitive parental leave.
And now, we take it to Ella. She's interviewing Samantha Hughey, the first female athletic director at the College of William & Mary.
So just to start off, what was your job prior to being named the Tribe's athletic director?
I was a senior associate director of athletics and senior woman administrator at Texas A&M University.
Wow, can you just tell me a little bit about the roles that you had while you were there?
While I was at Texas A&M? Sure. So as senior woman administrator, the role that I had was it's the highest ranking female in the department. It is a designation that the NCAA designates. Within the Southeastern Conference, the SEC, it is a governance position, and so every campus has an SWA, and they are part, like I said, of the governance process. So whenever legislation or changes are made to playing rules within the SEC or other things, the SWAs are the body through which it comes to the ADs to make decisions.
Very cool.
And then in addition to that, on campus, I had oversight in my time there of 12 different sports, had oversight of all areas related to student-athlete well-being, so sports medicine, strength and conditioning, sports psychology, nutrition, academic services, you name it. I had oversight of it.
Wow. So was becoming an athletic director always the end goal for you?
Absolutely not.
No,
No, absolutely
wow.
not. Well, it depends how far you want to go back, but when I got into college athletics, I really didn't think I would become an athletic director. I certainly, that wasn't a goal. I always thought I would be a part of a department, and my goal has always been to do a great job in whatever role I'm in. And then it wasn't until later that I had the aspiration to be an athletic director.
So what exactly made you want to pursue that and take on all of that responsibility?
The need for great leadership in athletics, for different leadership in athletics, for leadership that brings with it not only confidence that's necessary, but also humility and empathy. I think those are very important attributes of a leader, and not to say that everyone has them or doesn't have them, but I really saw a need for a different kind of leadership in athletics, and a leadership that not only modeled for all of our student athletes the ability to pursue what they wanted to do, but also then women like you all could look and say, oh gosh, well there's someone who is like me. Perhaps not only could I aspire to be an athletic director, but that is someone who, while she's in that role, likely is thinking about us as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So knowing that this title is historically held by men, did you have any strategies that you used when you were applying that made you kind of stand out as a potential candidate?
Not really. I never applied. So
as just for myself, I was raised in a family. I'm one of 5 and I'm the only girl. And so, I joke all the time that I've been raised in a man's world, and I never really thought of it as I was different because of my gender. I always thought that I was different because of my drive, and I never saw that as a male or female thing. It was just something that I had always been encouraged to do things with excellence. And so no, I don't think it really set me aside. And more, we're seeing more females that are going to the athletic director chair. So, yeah.
How did you feel competing against your male contenders? Did you feel at all at a disadvantage?
No. No.
Good. So did William and Mary help with that, or did you apply to other schools as well?
So I have interviewed for other athletic director positions in my career, but William and Mary was the one that, and I've also been offered athletic director jobs in my career and said no, and William and Mary is the one that I knew was a special job and one that I was very interested in.
Did the female president of the college have any influence on that, or no?
So she's not actually the president that hired me.
Oh, wow.
So I was hired by Taylor Reevely, who was the president before President Rowe, and he's actually the one who hired me. So
That's
yeah.
even better. Cool. So as a woman, have you been treated differently in any way by your inferiors or your coworkers or peers?
I don't sense that I have been. Mm-mm.
Great. And do you have any comments about the stereotype in general of athletic directors being traditionally male?
No, I think historically, I think in athletics, what you saw traditionally was it's been a shift in the profile of what an athletic director needs to have to be able to ascend to that role. Now you're seeing more people who have a business background or a law background or an administration background moving into that role, where in years past it has been a former coach, typically a former football coach, who has ascended to who stops coaching football and moves into the athletic director role, and that was something that worked really well for a time. And now that you're seeing a need for more business acumen and more, an understanding whether it's budget or the legal side of things, I think you're seeing a shift in that. Not that a football coach doesn't have that ability at all, but I think that's where the shift was occurring, is so much more of the role required an understanding of contractual obligations, an understanding of television, an understanding of, like I said, the business side of things. And so more and more you were seeing presidents and boards saying, we need someone other than someone who has only been in athletics.
That makes sense. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Do you have any advice for other women seeking supervisory roles like the one that you're in?
I think it would be just to learn as much as you can from other leaders. One of the things I would say is there weren't a lot of female models for me in this role. It's only recently that there have been many women in the role of athletic director, and so for me it was really learning and being championed by other ADs, many of whom were men who really took an interest and said, no, I'm gonna show you how to be a leader and mentor you, and that's been terrific. I think my advice would be just to be open and learn as much as you can from different roles, because it's really leadership. Mine just happens to be in an athletics department.
Great. Just to conclude, can you tell us your favorite part about your job, the favorite thing that you look forward to every day?
Getting to spend time with student athletes, which I don't get to do enough of. But it really is. That's why I love being able to pop out to practice or to come and see you all play and be around you and have conversations like this. Because in the end, I'm part of an enterprise that is developing young men and women to go live lives of impact. And so when you get bogged down with whether it's a contract, whether it's dealing with an issue, if I can just step back and remember who I'm doing this for and why I'm doing it, it makes it all worth it. And so getting to take time out of my day and come spend time with you or go to a practice or to a game, it's remarkable. It really is.
We really enjoy that as well.
Good. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate all your answers and taking time out of your day to do this for us.
Of course.
I'm Al Hassan Oaf.
I'm Kara Mangus.
And I'm Ella Donahue.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of 15 Minutes. Join us next week where we will discuss the gender pay gap.